It all started with a brutal suicide bombing in the Pahalgam region of Indian-administered Kashmir. A convoy of Indian paramilitary forces was traveling through a narrow stretch of highway when a suicide attacker rammed into one of the buses, killing over 40 soldiers on the spot. The scale and timing of the attack shocked the entire country. Within hours, Indian authorities were quick to blame Pakistan, claiming that the attack was carried out by members of a militant group based across the border. Indian intelligence sources pointed to intercepted communications and prior surveillance, asserting that the planning had direct links to handlers operating in Pakistan. Pakistan, on the other hand, immediately condemned the attack. The government in Islamabad denied any involvement and offered to cooperate with India in a joint investigation. They invited India to provide actionable evidence and even stated that if any Pakistani elements were found guilty, they would take strict action. However, India dismissed the offer, stating that it no longer had faith in dialogue and that the time for talking was over. The Indian leadership vowed a response, fueling tensions along the already volatile line of control. Just a few days later, India launched a retaliatory airstrike. Multiple squadrons of the Indian Air Force crossed into Pakistan-administered territory and targeted what they claimed were training camps and logistics hubs used by the group responsible for the Pahalgam attack. The strikes involved advanced Rafale Jets, Mirage 2000s, and Su-30 MKIs. According to India, the mission was a success and caused significant damage to militant infrastructure. However, Pakistan contested the claim and responded immediately by scrambling fighter jets, activating air defenses, and engaging Indian aircraft in a series of dogfights over the border. During the aerial engagements, India reportedly lost 5 aircraft, 3 Rafale jets, and 2 Su-30s. This was a serious blow to the Indian Air Force, especially considering the Rafale's reputation for technological superiority. Pakistan claimed that all of its aircraft returned safely, though some reports suggested that one JF-17 may have sustained damage, though it was never officially confirmed. The loss of high-end jets on India's side raised questions about its air defense readiness and operational strategy. In response to the Indian incursion and the loss of life and infrastructure, Pakistan launched a counterstrike that caught many off guard. They used their Fateh-1 tactical ballistic missile system to target specific Indian military installations. The missiles, capable of precise strikes, hit an Indian airbase in Punjab, radar installations, and 2 S-400 air defense batteries that had been recently deployed. The use of decoys and rapid flight patterns helped the missiles bypass several Indian surface-to-air missile systems, inflicting notable damage. The destruction of the S-400 systems, in particular, stunned observers, as they were considered among the most advanced air defense platforms in the region. With both sides having struck each other's territory and suffered losses, the situation quickly spiraled toward full-scale war. Troops on both sides of the border were mobilized. Fighter jets were placed on round-the-clock alert. Intelligence sources reported that both nations had activated their nuclear command and control protocols, though neither had moved warheads from storage. The possibility of a conventional war escalating into a nuclear exchange became a real concern for the international community. The tension was palpable. Major world powers, including the United States, China, Russia, and the Gulf countries, stepped in to try to de-escalate the situation. Back-channel diplomacy, particularly through the UAE and Qatar, played a crucial role. After intense negotiations and high-level communications, a ceasefire was eventually agreed upon. Both countries agreed to step back from the brink, with terms including the withdrawal of advanced strike units from forward positions, a temporary no-fly zone near the line of control, and the establishment of a joint investigation team under United Nations supervision to look into the Pahalgam incident. In a rare humanitarian gesture, the remains of downed pilots and captured personnel were exchanged with full military honors under Red Cross supervision. In terms of material losses, India suffered the destruction of 5 fighter jets, 3 Rafales and 2 Su-30s, as well as 2 S-400 batteries and radar stations. One of its key air bases was also temporarily disabled. Pakistan, while less affected physically, did take some damage to its radar network and had to deal with missile intercept failures. Politically, India faced intense domestic scrutiny over the effectiveness of its intelligence and defense systems. Pakistan, meanwhile, gained some diplomatic leverage for its measured initial response and the precision of its retaliation.